scenes. Just got to get myself ready here. Are you excited for this? Oh my God! You are a stinker. How did you get that thing?
Did it scare you?
Yes. How did you get it?
I just have my ways.
Oh my God. Did you order that thing on Amazon Rush Delivery? Oh my God. Is that why you were wondering if you could see the feet? All of a sudden I was like,
Oh. Well, I was just wanted to do a little icebreaker.
well, now I got to hit record on here.
Oh, it didn't record?
No, that's on there though. It's on there. Don't worry. It's on there.
Bill, get that in there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, well, we're here, week 10. Nick is actually missing this week. So we miss him. But I am here with Betsy Rachubinski, and she owns Nava Salon and Spa and Peaceful Purpose in Appleton. And she's here to tell us all about her journey. And she's also my bestie. And she literally, you can't see this if you're listening to the audio version, but just put a fake mouse on my floor. And it has like it's like a remote, yes. And she had it like running towards my foot. And for a brief moment, I thought that we had a problem here at the office. And I freaked out a little. So if you want to see that, watch the video. And you can see that. That was fantastic. Oh my gosh. All right, well, here we go. You ready for this?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go.
In the know in the 920.
This is our intro music.
I love it.
Isn't it great? I always tell Nick, just gets me in the mood. You know, hearing that, it's like all your problems just go away.
It just makes me
I cannot even believe that mouse. That is just, wow, you are really, I'm going to thank you for that for a long time to come.
Yes. Always having the tricks
I know, you do.
out of the bag.
You sure do.
I was at the salon before I came here, and my stylists were like, how are you even going to take this seriously?
I know. All we do is laugh all the time. It was great because shout out to one of my past clients, Travis P. I won't use your full last name just in case you want to remain anonymous. This is a big podcast. Thousands and thousands are watching.
I know that.
You know, so I don't want to get anybody too, called out. But he texted me the other day and he's like, I'm just driving for work today and I'm listening to your podcast. And he's like, I'm probably just freaking people out because I'm sitting here laughing. And I was like, well, good.
That's what it's all
my
about.
day. We don't want to have some stuffy podcast.
No, not at all.
It's not who we are. Oh my gosh.
One bit.
No. All right. Well, besides being one of my besties for like the last, I don't know, over a decade,
Yeah.
and I met you, you doing my hair.
Yes, that's correct.
Was it in a basement back then? Maybe.
It was.
Yeah.
It was in a basement. I actually was thinking about that this morning.
Okay. So
And
tell us where you got started.
where I got started.
You clearly were not a beauty school dropout.
I wasn't.
No.
No. I have dropped out of many things, but beauty school,
Not so much. I was.
I loved it.
I was a beauty school dropout. Did I ever tell you?
No.
Yeah, I did. I went to, I thought I wanted to be a hairstylist, and then I quickly realized I was not cut out for it at all. And so I went for like a month right after high school.
Okay.
I went to Gil Tech when Gil Tech was still a thing downtown.
Yep.
And my dad calls it the $1,000 braid because the only thing that I learned in the amount of time I was there was how to French braid, and I never could before.
Wow.
I mastered that.
A lot of stylists can't French braid.
You know what? Maybe I
You're ahead of the game.
Maybe I would have had a booming career. I just remember one day the head lady came in and she was like, I felt like she was talking right to me.
Yeah.
She was like, now some of you, I think at this point are feeling really comfortable with what you're learning and you're doing a great job, and then others of you you might feel like you're struggling a little bit more, and if this isn't your thing, it's okay to move on. And I was like, is she literally telling me, basically,
So you didn't come back the next day then?
GTFO, get the heck out of here? Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I was like, yep, she's speaking directly at me. I gotta go. I gotta go. And now here I am all these years later. But anyways, you went to hair school.
I went to hair school. I went to hair school later in life. I was, well, 23, so not right out of high school.
Super, super old.
Yeah, super old. Now I'm younger.
Of course. Ah,
Benjamin Button.
you're doing that. Yeah, reverse thing. Right. We both are.
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to be a hairdresser
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my sister woke up in the morning to hair all over her bed
Love that.
as I scissors and cut it.
I bet your mom and your sister were really happy.
Yeah, they were happy with me for a lot of different reasons.
I know. I always say, God bless your fam.
Yep.
Shout out to your dad,
Yeah.
raising 4 daughters.
Super on. He
4 of
loves
you.
it.
4 of you.
He'll still tell you I'm the favorite.
100%. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, yeah, you're the star.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, I always wanted to do hair. I finally went to hair school and I absolutely loved it. And I started my career and
Where did you start?
I started at the cutting edge. I loved it. I was on the east side location and
They're still there to this day.
they are, yes.
I remember I used to go tanning there.
Yes. At that time, it was the most popular salon to be at for tanning and hair.
I
and
believe it. Yeah.
I loved working
Because like
there.
this was what, the early 2000s?
2004.
Dang.
2004 is when I started.
Tanning was all the rage.
Yep. So we were a busy, busy salon.
Do
And
you have any funny stories from when you worked there?
oh gosh. Well, one of my favorite ones is how I learned that the name Jeff could be spelled Geoff. Oh, so I had a walk-in, and I walked up to look at the books and call his name out, and I said, Geoff?
Jeff.
And he goes,
Jeff.
very friendly, it's Jeff.
I'm sure it was not the first time in his life.
No, not by the way he said it.
Yeah.
It's Jeff. So, oh, okay. And I learned that Jeff could be spelled Geoff.
That's so great. I have seen that spelling before, and honestly, that story cracks me up every time you tell me it because when I see it printed that way,
Yeah.
that is how I say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
No, absolutely not. That is
Very
fantastic.
misleading.
I love it. I love it. So you had just a lot of kind of like walk-in clientele at the time.
Yeah, in the beginning.
People like Geoff.
Like Geoff.
Shout out to him. Hopefully he's doing great today.
Shout out to all the Geoffs out
Yes.
there.
We love you.
That was one of my, good stories. But
Okay.
loved doing hair. About 6 months into doing hair, I got into a very serious car accident. I almost didn't make it.
I'm glad you're here.
Yes. And I was supposed to be paralyzed.
It's insane.
And my doctor actually said he was going to write it in the medical books because he only saw 2 cases where somebody broke their back the exact same way I did, and both those people are paralyzed. So,
Isn't it crazy how 1 second, literally down. We'll keep coming back.
We need shirts.
We really do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Yeah.
cutting edge. Now, where did you go from there?
So I wanted to rent a
Mhm.
chair.
Okay.
I was at a point where I had just had my daughter. She was about 10 months old, and I had a full clientele, and I wanted to have more flexibility with my schedule.
Mhm.
So I wasn't able to stay at the cutting edge and rent a chair, so I ended up going across the street to a chair rental salon,
Okay.
and I was there for a good year or two. And honestly, I was struggling with fertility issues, and a lot of the stylists were getting pregnant. A lot of my clients were. I was just having a lot of
That's tough.
anxiety, and I just knew that it wasn't the right energy for me in what I was going through in my private life.
Right.
So I ended up going and renting a chair in the basement of a salon where one of my girlfriends from high school was working, and it was just a lot quieter of an atmosphere for me
Sure.
and my struggles.
Sometimes
So,
that makes all the well, most of the time, the atmosphere makes all the difference.
yeah. So it wasn't a busy, busy salon, and I could just work quietly with my clients. So, and that's where I met you.
No, I remember it. I remember the place.
Oh, we just hit it off so well, and it was before we were very successful in our careers. We were just starting out still, and
We literally started from the bottom
now we're here.
in the basement. Now we're here.
I think that's a song.
It is, ma'am.
We should play it.
If I had that technology, you know what? This is where Bill, the IT slash editing guy, comes in. Bill, if
Yeah.
you can get a little music in here, please. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, Bill. Work on it.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then I
How long were you there? A
was
while.
a couple years.
Yeah. Because I was going there for a while.
Yeah, it was a couple years, and then I wanted to be closer to home.
Mhm.
So I knew that the building owner, his mom, had a chair rental salon right off of Ballard.
Mhm.
So I asked if she had any openings. She did. I went in, and it was right off the highway, and I signed a lease and started there a month later.
Sure. That's awesome.
And that brought me to where I am today.
And I followed you there,
And
as
you did.
all of your loyal fans.
Loyal clients,
Clients
yes.
did.
Oh,
And
the best clients.
I remember, though, it was just the cutest place. I mean, it was just your cute little beauty parlor, as
Yeah.
I would call it, when you started there.
Yes, it was.
And then all of a sudden, you were like, Kelly, I think I'm going to buy a business.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
cool.
crazy.
Yeah. And so then you had the whole thing, like, revamped.
Yeah, I gutted the whole place, and
It had a little glow up, if you
blow
will,
up. Yes,
or a major glow up.
it did.
Yeah.
I added some private rooms to it, one where I run my nonprofit purpose out of, and yeah,
It's beautiful.
thank you.
And I remember coming in, and we would be strategizing, talking about, you got to get some plans on paper here in terms of
Yes.
what it's going to look like. So you can start bringing in more talent. 'Cause, at the time, it was like, well, I think girls, too, when they're first, like, getting out of hair school, a lot of younger girls and guys, um, they want to go to, like, that cool, posh place, right?
Yep.
Like, where's everybody else going?
Yeah.
And now you have that.
Oh, thank you.
But at the time, it wasn't quite that way, and so we needed to get there.
We did.
Yeah.
There was, I believe there was 4 of us working.
Yeah. And now how many girls do you have?
I have 19.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you take guys too, of course.
Yep,
Right? But,
absolutely.
yeah. You're very woman run at this point in time,
Yes.
as is my business. 19, that's insane.
Yeah, I have, let's see, I have 14 stations, 16 stylists. I have 18, and then I have 2 people in my treatment rooms that do Botox
it does look really, really pretty and really modern now. It's not like stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I strive for that with my girls. I, just love seeing them grow, and I love mentoring them, and just
Yeah.
love the environment.
So how do you feel like you got most of your how did you go from 4 people to 18 people?
Well, in the beginning, I was just trying to fill the chairs.
Hmm.
Um, I
Just so just so our you know the entire United States that's listening to this understands, how exactly do you make money as the owner of a salon that has chair rentals? Just so everybody understands that.
How do I make money?
Right, like you get money off of the stylists that are renting the chairs, correct?
Yep. So they pay me a monthly
Mm-hmm.
rental for their station,
Sure.
and they supply all their own color and supplies.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last couple of years, I've been transitioning solely into commission stylist, where I provide all of that, and they get some commission
Sure.
base off of their services and retail sales. And it's a sliding scale.
Sure.
So the more that they bring in, the more they get paid.
Sure.
So um, I have a little bit more control over that,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems to work really well meshing the two. So
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny though how like when you get started and then you look back today and it's like, wow, this is how I used to do things and now this is how I do things, right? Like I laugh at myself so much because like just we just got like these new printed listing books the other day and they're
yeah,
they're really 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 pretty and but like I used to use like the report covers from like those back in school you'd have the plastic report cover
yes,
that covered like your little Microsoft Word document.
yeah,
Maybe I had some clip art on it, right? And then it had like the plastic side piece that you would slide
yes,
in, hold it
yes.
open. That was like my first like when I first went out to meet people, you know?
We learn so
We
much.
really do. We've come
I
a long way.
Yeah. I don't want to say like mistakes were made, but
But the mistakes are what get you, right?
yeah,
And those are honestly usually the biggest learning
I was
lessons.
just gonna say that. I am grateful for those
Hmm.
because I it teaches me it pushes me to continue to grow, and I will be the first to admit that I have no idea how to run a hair salon.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank
You
you.
do know how to run a hair salon, but you're learning as you go.
I am, and I have so many great people in my corner.
You really do.
Um, that
Because you're a great person, and that all circles back.
Thank you. Yeah, I just know that I want to go to work every day in a
Yeah.
place that um, has great energy.
Hmm. Because we
And
spend a lot of freaking time here.
we do. And I want our clients to feel welcome
Hmm.
and accepted, and just know that I'm doing everything I can to make sure that you're getting a great experience.
Yeah.
My stylists are all um, very knowledgeable, and I spend a lot of money in education, continuing education.
Yeah, it feels like you guys are always having like classes and trainings and going to conventions
Yeah,
and things and learning and
yeah,
yeah, that's awesome.
absolutely. And I have expectations of my girls, but um, they do a great job
Hmm. I think they have, yeah,
surpassing those.
yeah, and I think they have all kind of like this is a career to them, and they've set expectations, and
Yeah,
they, for themselves too, which is
yeah,
huge. They don't just treat it like a job; they really love it. You can
yeah,
tell that. Because I was telling you, I had one of the girls do my hair a couple weeks ago because you were a little busy bee,
yeah.
and I wanted like me last minute
Last
thing,
minute,
right?
yep.
And but they're all so great. They're all so awesome and so like polished. I wish I could have been like a quarter of that polished at that age.
20s, yeah.
My gosh. Some of us take a little longer to get there.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what do you think is one of the biggest learning lessons that you've had in running this business?
Biggest learning lesson. Um, oh, that's tough.
First thing that comes to your mind. That's usually the thing.
I would say just learning to listen. Um, always be the student. I am I just want to soak up all the knowledge. Not just the business side of things, but growing my business. It trickles into my personal life, and um, I there's so many lessons I've learned, but I think not shutting the door to thinking you know it all, and that things are always evolving. So I've had to learn
So true.
to be okay with
Change
change.
is a constant.
It's constant. And I'm really, really trying to focus on balance because I think that if you're not a small business owner or you don't have like an entrepreneur mindset, it's really hard to understand that the work always follows you, and
Us. Always.
it's like on my mind 24/7.
That brings up a really good point because I had a Facebook post the other day that I said just reposted something about um, a lot of people that are not entrepreneurs will never understand how stressful it really is and how much it can break you.
Yeah.
And someone commented back like, well, I'm a nurse, and that's like, and my response was, this is not to take away from the nurses of the world.
Absolutely.
Nurses, I think, in their daily job have a way harder job than a lot of other people do.
Yep.
Teachers, I could never be a teacher. I could never do that job all day long. I love my children. I could not be in a classroom with 20 some of them. That is not my thing. The difference, I think, is that if you're truly an entrepreneur and you're truly running a business, especially if you work in your business too. So you work in your business, and then you also have to work on your business.
Yep.
And so it does. It follows you. There's no like off switch per se.
Yep.
So it can just consume your whole life, and it's something that I've struggled with, as you know, that I've had to. I mean, it did almost break me at one point. You have to get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna put it down for a minute. I'm gonna focus on my family and some other things, and it's still gonna be there. But so that's what I mean by, it's not necessarily that you or I have the hardest job in the world.
Right.
In terms of what we're physically doing. But being an entrepreneur, I think, in any stretch, is you're constantly concerned about something.
Yep.
You're either taking care of somebody that's on your team, or again, you're working in your business because you still need to be doing production and making money that way, at least for a good period of time, right? Like I haven't gotten there yet. I know you haven't gotten there yet. We've both cut back,
Yep.
but it's not, we're not completely just out running the business.
Yep.
So there's that, and then it's just, if it's not that, so if you're not taking care of somebody on your team, you're not taking care of your own clients, you're worrying about the budget, there's always something to be done.
Yep.
Always.
Always.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
In so many ways, and I even said that in my post, I said it's brought me so much joy, but also a lot of pain. Like, it's both. It's definitely both.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody's heart is hard. I'm certainly, I don't want to take away from
For sure.
anything. It's
Absolutely.
just, the past like 5 years have been a whole different journey for me. I'm a single woman raising a almost 15-year-old daughter, and
Amazing daughter. Shout out to Rylan. She better watch this and share it with her friends.
hi, Rylan. She is absolutely amazing. But when I took this business over, I was married at the time, and shit, I just took over a business.
Yep.
I don't know how long we're closed for. I have single moms that work for me,
Right.
and they can't pay their rent.
Right.
And what are we gonna do?
Exactly.
Um, and then not long after that, I was filing for divorce, and I
A lot.
had to learn all those things on my own, and I still am learning them. And but you know, as a business owner, your fear is, holy shit, this could all fall apart tomorrow, and that pushes me to keep
Yes.
going and to keep driving and keep working and to not give up and not get complacent. And
I think you have
it's
to
a good
be,
thing.
yeah,
And all
to
the
be all in.
traumas and all the setbacks, that I still enjoy what I do. I love doing hair. I love my clients. I love my stylist. That has never wavered.
Well, now you have like a super, obviously, long-term clientele,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
And having to cut back too, my clients have been loyal
Yeah.
to the salon.
Yep.
And
Which is awesome. Because
it's
again, your girls
amazing.
are great too.
Yeah.
So it all works out.
Mhm.
It's just sometimes it's hard to make that initial transition.
Yeah.
You know,
It is. Yeah.
especially when you're doing something very hands-on, because it's like, well, is anybody going to do it like you do it?
Yeah.
But
Some do it better.
you're great. They're all really great too, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you though. It's just you almost have to throw yourself into the fire though, right? Like I remember you saying to me, we would have these conversations, like because I was already sort of when you transitioned into owning the business, I'd been doing this for a while,
Yep.
not on the scale that I am now, but I had been doing real estate and kind of operating my own business, and I think maybe I had like one or two assistants at the time, and so we would have a lot of conversations about it, and I just remember you being like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, right? And I'm like, girl, I don't know that any of us really do,
Yeah.
right? But you learn as you go, and that's where I get a lot of people too that come to me that want to be in real estate, but they're like, well, I want to be in real estate part-time because I need that steady income, and I completely understand and respect that.
Yep.
But I don't hire part-timers. I only hire people that are 100% in
Yep.
because I know it's scary. I live it every day. You live it every day. But that's also what keeps you going,
Yep.
right? That's what gets us up. There's other things. We love our jobs. We love what we do. We love the people. All of that, right? But we don't really have a lot of options to just be like, you know what? We've had bad minutes, bad moments,
Yep.
but we can't sit in it and stay there.
No, not at all.
No.
No time for that.
No, you have to keep going, right? Because things.
Nobody cares. Just work hard.
Exactly. So I think that's something that really drives people, like us. And everybody's different. Some people want to, and I've even said, like in my sunset career, I'm going to punch a clock. I'm going to punch in, I'm going to punch out. When I'm
Yep.
not there, I'm not going to think about it, right? And that's great. We need all of the things,
Yep.
right? But I think for those of us that do this, it's just that's a big push. Is that like, holy, we gotta
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, there's a couple things too that stand out at me. When I first was contemplating trying to build a business, I have a really good relationship with my building owner, his family, and I respect him a whole lot. He's been a really good mentor to me, and I said, what should I do? Like I always say, if I was your daughter, like what would you tell me?
Yep.
And he said, well, if it's hard, you probably should do it.
I love that.
And I remember that stuck with me.
Oh,
And
so true.
it sticks with me to this day on making decisions.
It's hard. You should probably do it. I love that. It's so true.
It's always in the forefront of my mind when I'm making decisions. And
So you mean we can't always just take the easy way out?
man, always have to take the road less traveled.
That's so true, though. That's where the good stuff is.
It is, yes. My other thing is too is just surrounding myself with entrepreneurs. I have come to find out that it isn't, you're not alone in your journey, and
Yeah. How many times have you and I talked about stuff, and it's like we're in two totally different industries,
yeah,
but we still have a lot of the same issues that arise.
Fears, issues,
All of it.
successes, all of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I love it. I don't want to stop.
I'm
I have
just
so many more ideas.
And that's,
mean,
I know, and that's what's so cool too is every time I see you, that's what you're doing. And I think, and that's, I'm that way too. Like, okay, this podcast thing I wanted to do for a really long time, and I finally was just like, okay, I just need to do it, because it was just physically like putting it all together, right? And then, I want to do a book, and there's just things where it's like, and I think that's just another piece of like what drives entrepreneurs is we
Yeah.
always have more. 'Cause if you even look at like the richest of the rich, right? People are like, well, what? I've even said it. Like, why do they keep going? Why wouldn't they just retire and go? Because they can't.
Yeah.
That's just not in their blood to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Sure, they take their lavish trips and their
Yeah.
vacations and things, which we're not at that level by any
no,
means.
I don't know.
I mean, we still fly. Well, most of the
I
time.
still check my bank
Economy.
account
Yeah,
every day.
me too. I still sometimes am calculating, like, am I going to make all the bills this month?
Yep.
Absolutely. But I think
But
even for
I
those
love
that
what I
are,
do.
yeah, we love it, and
Right.
that is the biggest thing, right? But yeah, even for the super super wealthy, it's like they just don't stop because they just can't. Like it's not who we are. If I sometimes I'll say like, oh, I wish I could just retire and because I just get so busy and so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But then like 2 days later, if I do take a little tiny time off, I'm like, okay, what do I do next? What do I do now? And I just start thinking about more things that I can do here, work, and it's just,
That's why we're besties.
I know, it's just who we are. It's just who we are.
It's in our DNA.
Yep. So, let's talk about peaceful purpose.
My baby.
Your baby. Yes. So
Besides my other baby.
Right.
Oh, and Joplin.
And Joplin,
Oh,
your baby doggy. Sweetest dog ever.
she is.
Except for the time that she brought you a surprise in here.
She did.
A surprise rabbit.
She brought a still live rabbit into my house, and it was bigger than her.
Yes. And I remember getting a video
That's
from you
sweet.
about it, and you were like, what do I do with this? And I was like, I am not the right person to ask that question to because I feel very badly for you. If I were you, I would have run it back into the bedroom, locked the door. And bunnies are great, but not so much when they're in your house.
No,
You know?
it was full-grown bunny, and it was still moving, and
She was very pleased with herself, though.
she was so happy.
She's like,
and it's
"Look,
my
Mom."
own fault because the bunnies in my backyard just pick on her. And so before I let her out all the time, well, not anymore, but I'd say, "Are you gonna go get Bubba?" Bubba's
You were
the bunny.
encouraging this.
So she finally got Bubba.
She's like, yeah, look, I did it. Then she's
Oh,
probably like
God.
confused because she's like, why are you not pleased?
Oh my gosh, it was the worst.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
I love
That's
it.
when I needed a man.
So you have, exactly. So she's single. Shout out to Betsy.
Happily.
Slide into her DMs. Okay, so you have lots of babies.
Yep.
But your biggest babies are obviously Rylan, Joplin, Nava, and Peaceful Purpose.
Yes.
So, tell us about Peaceful Purpose.
Peaceful Purpose is a nonprofit that I started in 2018.
Has it really been that long?
I think 6 years in July.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And I previously worked in a salon. I started up a salon inside of a cancer center.
starting up my own little
Not at all.
charity here, and
Mm-mm.
not if you
I
want
try to make it look like that,
right,
but that
right,
is not it
yeah.
at all.
Like if you want to do it legit, yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of steps.
Yep. So but again, I researched. I got in touch with a lot of very knowledgeable people in the community. I hired a nonprofit attorney,
Smart.
and my board was created. And it was just, again, I was married at the time, so it was a little piece of my passion that I could use to help other people.
Sure.
And I never expected it to grow into what it is
Yeah.
now. Um,
Well, I did because that's how you do things.
it just, there was no expectations.
Sure.
And um, I always get choked up when I talk about it
Yeah.
because the clients are so appreciative of the help that we're giving them during their hair loss journey,
Yeah.
but also it's so therapeutic for me. And now we've been able to branch out into any type of medical hair loss. So um, I've helped so many high schoolers with alopecia. I did prom
I was
updos.
gonna say I saw you do that. Is like this. That is just amazing.
Just talk about the tears flowing.
And let's talk about going back to like what's hard, right? And everybody's heart is different. Like
Yes.
what you do there is so amazing and so necessary. And it's also something that I don't think I could ever do. I don't think, I mean, women especially can relate, I think, to if you are in a situation where you are losing your hair for whatever reason. Hair is a big part of who we are.
Absolutely.
I understand that it's not vital to our existence, but it is a big part of who we are. And it's an identifier, right? And so, like, if all of a sudden that's changing, that's huge.
Yeah.
And then if you are sick on top of that, it's like, it's got to be one of the worst times in anybody's life.
Yeah.
Scary,
Very
right?
scary.
Scary. And so they're coming into you, and you have this amazing room now set up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very quiet and private, and it's not like they're on display to everyone else, and they can have that moment. But like for you to be able to do that for people over and over and over, that's hard.
It probably on the outside seeing that is, but I treat it like every client is a family member, or I put myself in their position.
Yeah.
And um, I don't want to say this like a bragging way at all, but it does take a special kind of person to
For
be
sure.
able to
You
have
have-
that compassion.
You have the personality and the compassion, absolutely.
Thanks. I take it very seriously. I have so many women who I have to shave their head, that they've had their hair their whole life, and they are uncontrollably crying because
Yeah.
they don't want to lose their hair,
Right.
but it's already coming out in clumps. Or, I just recently, in one of my days, met with two young girls. One was 8 and one was 6. They have alopecia, and beautiful, beautiful spirits, beautiful girls. And Mattel actually sent us a whole box of Barbies
Oh, I love
that
that.
are bald and have wigs that
Good for
fit.
Mattel.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's pretty amazing to be able to give these girls
Yeah.
a gift of hair if they want it, a nice hat, and some Barbies that will make them hopefully feel,
Right.
different.
Well, and that's the thing. And nobody needs to have hair, right? It's
No.
not, I am not saying that that is like, I'm just saying that for a lot of women, especially, and men,
Yep.
it's something that, especially if you grow up with it, you're very like, you're used to having that. That's how you look,
Yep.
right? Like I said, it's like an identifier. And so then if all of a sudden that's changing, it's just, that's a tough moment for a lot of people.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're sick too, it can really wear on your spirit
Yeah.
and mentally.
It's a lot of changes all at once.
Yeah.
also because of the cause. I love that. And I've always felt like to whom much is given, although I don't think anything has really been given to me, but you get my point. Or, to what you've worked hard for, you also have to give back,
Yep.
right? And so that's always been a big thing for me. I know you have some awesome donors throughout the community, though. You
Yes.
have a whole donor wall now.
We do.
It's amazing. So, and then in October, tell us
Yes.
about October.
So October is our biggest campaign of the year. We try to raise $45,000. We do a kickoff event. It's the third Saturday of September. It's at the salon.
I've
So
been there. It's super fun.
it's open to the
Super
public.
cute.
Yeah, all my stylists are there volunteering. We do pink hair extensions, haircut donations. We have food trucks there, where a portion of the sales goes to Peaceful Purpose. We also have raffle baskets, and we do a 50-50. And anybody is welcome to come through the community. A lot of our clients come, Peaceful Purpose clients. Um, and we it's mostly social media driven the
Sure.
whole month of October.
Mhm.
We feature stories of past clients that we've helped
Sure.
and ways to donate and give back. So we want to keep going with that,
For
and
sure.
that helps us be sustainable throughout the year. So we also
Absolutely. I
just
mean,
added a golf outing this year
oh,
too.
that's nice.
So it's an annual one. The bar in Lindale sponsors us, and June 9th, I
Okay.
believe it is. It's a Sunday. That's our first one that we're starting with this year.
Sure.
So you can find it on our website and social media.
That's awesome.
Come sign up.
So I was gonna say, how can we best help? How do we find you?
So we have a website,
Mhm.
and we are active on social media. We have a Nava and a Peaceful Purpose.
What's your Nava website? What's your Peaceful Purpose website?
Nava NavaSalonandSpa.com and PeacefulPurposeInc.com.
Okay.
Same for Facebook and Instagram.
Mhm.
And there's ways to donate on there. And we have online booking if you want to come to our salon.
Sure.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, for sure. What is the best way if I am somebody in the community that wants to get involved in donating or potentially maybe helping join, maybe join the board in the future
Sure.
if there's an opening or things like that? What's the best way to reach out there? Email address?
I would email. Yep, email would be the best.
Okay.
And we are always looking for donors. We will be looking for volunteers for our events. And I know coming up in this next year, we are going to be looking for another board member.
Okay.
So watch for opportunities on our social.
Yeah, and you guys do a lot on social, so we can get a lot of info there.
Yep.
What is the email for Peaceful Purpose?
PeacefulPurposeInc@gmail.com.
PeacefulPurposeInc@gmail.com. So that's how is that also how if I'm somebody that needs your services for that side of things? Because I know Nava, obviously there's a website we go on, we book a hair appointment, we book a hair color, we book a whatever. How do you get with you if you need, the Peaceful Purpose services?
Sure. So you can reach out through through our website.
Mhm.
Also, I have an admin who does all my scheduling.
Okay.
Her number is 920-515-4004.
I like how you definitely got that one
I know.
memorized,
People
right?
say it a lot.
I love it.
So she handles all of the scheduling
Yeah.
and working with our sponsors and donors. So,
Very
yeah,
cool.
her name's Danielle, and she can help you with information.
That's awesome. I know it's always been super easy to communicate with you guys and,
Yeah.
and just reach out. And I know you're always super grateful for anybody that can get involved. I
Yes,
highly encourage it.
absolutely. Even hats and scarves. We have people dropping them off all the time that want to donate. So that's an easy way to do a hat drive at your
Right.
place and your job.
Yes.
We will always take them, and our clients are very grateful for them.
I love that.
Hats can be very expensive.
It's true. And especially, yeah, if you're going through all this other, let's say you do have cancer, unfortunately, or special person for real in so many ways,
Oh, thank you,
but
friend.
especially
So are you.
in this way because I mean it's a lot, but it's really life changing for a lot of people. I'm just so proud of you. You've come so far. You have this amazing, booming salon. You have this fantastic nonprofit. What else is on the books? What's on the books for Betsy?
There's a lot of things
Yeah.
in the works.
Okay.
So,
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have you on like episode 300
Sure.
and
Love
you
that.
can give us all of the updates.
Yeah. There's a lot. Um, just living life though.
Yeah.
Just every day
Like you said,
Trying
trying
to
to
be-
find that balance,
trying to find the balance.
right?
Trying to stay authentic. I really, really, really try to just be myself.
Mhm.
Me as I am.
Yep.
I have to make my apologies sometimes for being too much or saying too much. but
Hey, if you're
I'm
too
just
much,
me.
that's, you know what I mean? If what is that saying? Like, if I'm too much, find someone else, right?
I'm less.
Yeah, find less because, and that's so true because you and I both are people, we wear our heart on our sleeves, and sometimes maybe that doesn't always equate to being the best business owner either because we don't always come at everything with just the level head. It's also the heart,
It's
right?
emotional. It's the emotional
But
side.
that also makes it, we're passionate about it and because we actually care about people and and what's going on. So I think there's there's different ways that you can look at that. But I agree with you and you are very authentic. I'll give you a lot of credit for that. Regardless of what people see, on social media is always a snapshot of people's lives
Yeah.
and everything can always look like it's roses and things, but you're very one of the realest people I know, which is great.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you. I think that's so important, right? To just
So
be real. People want real people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love sharing my wins,
Yeah.
but I'm also not afraid to be like, hey, guess what I just did? And those things because again, those are where we grow and learn the most lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of F bombs sitting in my car in the parking lot in tears.
Yep.
But some of my happy moments
Again,
too.
and that's what it is. And I think the thing is that anything that you truly love is going to be that way, right? It's never going to be all just roses and daisies, and there's always going to be hard things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why you have to surround yourself with people who get that
Yeah.
side of you and get and understand it. And a lot of my friends, you're one of my best friends, and we're the same way. We can call each other crying, screaming, but we laugh so freaking hard,
Mhm.
and we soak it all in, and we work so hard, and we love hard.
Mhm.
But you're never gonna question if we're mad, we're sad, we're
Right.
happy. Because
You're gonna know.
You're just gonna know.
You're gonna know, but that's okay, right?
Okay.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that.
I don't want to ever I used to diminish that
Mhm.
side of me and
Right.
think that was a bad thing.
Right.
And now I embrace it.
Yeah.
And I love that
Yeah.
about me.
Well, and I think there was, for many, many decades, there was a stigma around, women in business and like, don't cry, don't ever show your emotions, save your tears for the pillow, all that kind of mentality, right? And it's like, no, I mean, there's a difference between having an emotion and then like bringing drama into the workplace. And I know you're very drama free, I'm very drama free,
Yep.
especially you get a bunch of we are women, we love our women, but you
Yep.
get a bunch of women together and it can get drama real quick.
Yeah,
right?
and I nip
So,
that in the bud right
yeah.
away. Leave that shit at the door. is what I
Exactly.
say.
Me too. Exactly.
That's
but
one of my high expectations
yeah.
that I set for when I'm interviewing somebody. And I keep it going throughout the
Well,
salon.
because it's so every person that's in a team like atmosphere, or in an small business organization especially, it can get toxic real fast.
Really fast.
One person can start spreading negativity and it's just
Yeah.
yep.
Not fun.
Nope.
At all.
No. And so drama free, but it's okay to have emotions. And I think that's becoming more and more the norm as we move into the 2020 decade, right? But it used to be like, oh my gosh, don't ever show your emotions. Don't cry. Don't get upset. And it's like, okay, well, I show emotions because I care,
Right.
you know. So yeah. Well, I've loved this.
love this
I've
too.
loved
We're
this
done?
so much. I know. Can we just do this all day,
All
every
day,
day?
every day.
For
Yes.
real. We have so many lessons to teach you all. But
Oh my
for
God.
real,
I
right?
feel like we need to tell them like a Kelly and Betsy story.
Okay. Well, you go.
Oh, come on. You have to have one.
By the way, your boots are so cute. For those of you listening, she's always just high fashion.
Oh
this
my
girl.
gosh. I shop at thrift stores.
I don't mean like high fashion, like high dollar, but just like super cute. You always look like you just walked right out of a magazine.
Wow.
You really do.
Another reason we're besties.
I'll just keep the compliments flowing. I can't think of any particular stories that are appropriate for the podcast
I
per
know.
se, necessarily from start to finish, but I will say this. I feel like you said too, we just constantly laugh, and laughter is like the best medicine, right?
Absolutely.
And I know, like you even said, sometimes your girls at the salon are just like, oh, here comes Kelly. 'Cause it's just going to be a big, we're going to find things. We're going to find things to laugh about.
It makes them laugh.
Yes.
When you come in and
I love
they're
that.
giggling, it makes them laugh.
I love that. Let's do that forever,
Forever we will.
for sure.
We'll be
100%.
riding
Old
off into the
little biddies.
sunset
Yep.
together, just giggling away.
I love that.
I love that too.
Let's do it.
We will.
Well, thank you again so much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for
I love
having
your
me.
story, of course, and you're going to come back.
I cannot
You're going to
wait.
be a frequent guest.
I cannot wait.
Now, again, people can get you Nava Salon and Spa on Facebook, Instagram. Go to your website, and it's Naava, right? So Nava Salon and Spa, and then Peaceful Purpose, like you said, is also Facebook.
Yep.
All of the things, Instagram.
No
Okay.
phone number for you. No phone number for you.
No phone number.
I feel like that's what you're trying to get at.
Do
like,
you have a phone number that you want to share? No.
No.
Just all those ways. Now, is there anyone you'd like to share your personal phone? No, I'm just kidding. No. Just remember though, shout out to any single. What would we say? 35 to 30 even? What's your youngest, do you think?
I haven't really thought about that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
just happy.
Okay, so if we were going to find you a suitor, a gentleman, somewhere in that age range, maybe let's say 30 something to in the 50s.
I would maybe like 47.
Okay, 47. You've heard it here first.
I don't feel my age. I'm 42. So
Understood. Right.
I,
If you're older, you're going to need to have a lot of energy.
yeah.
Keep up with this one.
I just want someone to make me laugh.
Absolutely make you laugh. Yes.
Me on my toes.
So if you find yourself listening to this, and
This
you
is why you wanted me on here, right?
and you
It's a
feel
date.
like
It's a trick.
if you
Funky.
feel like you can fit this bill, feel free to reach out to any of those methods that we've provided, or you can reach out to the Kelly Davies Homes team, message us, and I have a direct in for you to Betsy. I've even honestly, and you know I've said this to you before, but I think, and I want to hear some comments. You comment on our YouTube page or our Facebook page about this, and that is, I think that we should do like a speed dating type of a situation,
Oh.
and it could be a fundraiser
Oh.
for Peaceful Purpose.
I have some single people, women
I know you do,
that would love this.
and I think there's a good part of the male community that would also enjoy doing that. So let's put that up at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be another project. I'll put
I-
that on the books.
I'll help orchestrate it.
And you'll be in the mix of daters,
We'll
potential
see.
daters.
We'll see.
But I'll be there, don't worry. I'll be there the whole time to interview and give my opinions
We
I'm a
too.
good wing woman. You know
Yes.
that. Yeah, Bill too. Bill,
He,
my
he
husband,
knows me good,
he
and
does.
he would be a good
He
guy.
will always weigh in.
Yeah.
He will always weigh in. So let's plan that for the future. We'll have a speed dating type fun night that's also benefiting Peaceful Purpose.
Well, let's see if the male population is for it.
Okay, comment on our YouTube or Facebook page, please. We're going to need you to really speak up, or she won't do it. Okay, well, again,
Yes.
thank you so much. I've loved hearing more about your journey and sharing it with the public.
Oh, I have
Yes,
one
ma'am.
story quick.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Kelly, I started out in the salon, and Kelly says, I'm going to stop by. I have something to give you. So, okay, sure. She comes with a video crew, and it just so happened to be Halloween.
That's right.
So I'm dressed as Where's Waldo?
You are.
And here she comes with a videographer, a microphone, and
All our professional equipment.
wants to
Let's take a video.
nicely donate a check to Peaceful Purpose. But little did she know
But I
that it was
showed up.
Halloween at the salon.
I knew it was Halloween, but like I just showed up like I was what's that guy that used to do the Publishers Clearinghouse? You know, I just showed up as a surprise on your doorstep. Like, here we are. Today's the day. And you're like, ma'am, I'm dressed as Where's Waldo today.
Oh, that
It
was great.
great.
Yeah.
We still have the video.
Okay, let's archive that.
I will, absolutely. I'll bring that out again at some point. Dust that off. That was a good one. The look on your face, you were like, and you had the big Waldo glasses on. Ah, that was fantastic. Oh my God, I love it.
Good, good.
All right, well, if you can't tell, we have a lot of fun. And thank you again, though, for all you do for the community and for sharing it with us today.
Thank you for having me and letting me tell my story.
Absolutely. You had a great story. All right, well, we will see you guys. Nick and I will be back unless, he falls off the face of the earth. We'll see you guys again next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.
She just is so proud of herself, too, for doing that. She has other ones, too, like, now we're not recording anymore, but she has this one. Oh, maybe because I'll stop listening to it anymore. She goes, that's bussin'. And then she has another one that says, that's